There are not many of you who have known Ray as long as I have. I'm sure, though, that those of you who have only known Ray a short time, like some of the rest of us, ask yourself, why doesn't anybody like Ray? I mean, is it because he's so pushy and overbearing? Is it because he has to be in charge and control everybody and everything? Is it that autonomous attitude he takes to ministry? You know, is it because he's mean to children and animals? What is it? Well, I have an answer for you tonight. I cannot speak for the ladies, and that's a lesson I've learned the hard way. But I feel perfectly free speaking for the gentlemen. I think they will all agree. The reason we don't like Ray is because he's tall and trim and looks good in absolutely everything. And that's not enough. He gets his retirement announced in the sports section of the Now, this is masculine intimidation beyond anything that's reasonable. And also, Ray is one of these people who makes wives say, why can't you be nice like Ray? Scout's honor, I heard Clyde Fant say one time that if Ray was a woman, he would marry.
It takes two to tango.
I said, no, Clyde, if Ray were a woman, you would marry her. One reason Ray is so nice is because for over 50 years, he's played good cop to Clyde Fant's bad cop. And that'll make you nice, for sure. When I went to Seventh James, Ray was working at the Alumni Association at Baylor. And, you know, I never knew how he really felt about having a 29-year-old pastor who thought he knew everything. But I had Ray pegged early on as someone I could trust. Ray was a deacon at Seventh James, and there were 2 of those years when he was deacon chair. And so we'd go to lunch, usually out at a little Mexican restaurant on the north side of Waco, and we'd just revel in all the power we had. The pastor and the deacons. But we knew as long as Ray Lynham was there was no power that was going to make any difference. But Ray became a friend to me, and I have the distinction, I imagine, of having had maybe the only Baptist pastor who has had a deacon chair with whom he could talk about anything. If you think that's not rare, you ask any Baptist pastor. Ray represents, for me, sort of the epitome of friendship. Friendship, or friend, is a word that we throw around a lot. He has lots of friends. Hey, I have lots of friends. But friend is a word when you really need a friend and when you really find a friend, a word that you know should never be just thrown around. I remember one time in a graduate seminar hearing a visiting professor talk to a bunch of graduate students on the subject of Christology. And somebody in that seminar asked the professor what he thought were some of the great hymns of the church especially in relation to the doctrine of Jesus Christ. And I'm sure they were expecting a real trip into the upper regions of hymnody. And this dear man said, probably the most important one, the most important hymn, is what a friend we have in Jesus. Because what most people need from Jesus first is not any of that stuff we look at and think about and talk about in theology. What they need first is for Jesus to be their friend. I can tell you for sure, and I don't have to tell you, the only way a pastor stays with one congregation for over 26 years is by being a friend to the people. And if there is a theme that runs through everything that has been said tonight, it is that for every one of us here, for some of you in some extremely special ways, Ray Vickrey has been a friend. What a friend we have in Ray. I think the best thing about this retirement celebration is that we're not going to lose Ray and Sharon. They will still be our friends. Maybe the worst thing about this retirement celebration for them is they won't get rid of us. But Ray, we love you. We're grateful to you for friendship and for all the good gifts you have given us, both as pastor and as the human being you are. Thank you. And now, Ray, because God is just as well as merciful, in heaven, you're going to be short. Short and chubby and very slow.